and action. Welcome to Los Comics TV. I'm your host, Javier Hernandez. I'm a comic book artist. Here I am. I'm a comic book artist. I'm also a comic book teacher. I teach comic book classes, workshops, schools, and libraries. So what I'm going to do tonight, or today, depending on when you're watching this, I'm going to do 2 lessons for you guys. One, we're going to be show you guys how to draw characters, how to create your own characters. And the second lesson we're going to do is set you up to make your own mini comic. So parents, if you're watching this with your kids, you can sit through and watch the video the first time just to, check everything out. Because I'm gonna go a little slow, but not too slow. I don't expect people to be working alongside as they're watching this. I don't make the video super long, but I want to make sure you guys get some information that you can use. But you can watch the video second time and pause it, whenever you want to hear certain things clear or play it back, whatever, or to follow some of the steps I'm doing. But otherwise, you could just watch the video together, and then maybe after on your own, you guys will have enough starting points to, spend some time working together, however you want, working on these projects. And then, of course, you can always continue onward from there. So I'm going to let's do the character designing thing, because sometimes people tell me in the classes, like, Mister, I can't think of a character. Characters can be drawn from anything, right? One, very common thing to do is like food, right? We all eat, right? Everybody likes pizza. So, slice of pizza here. Here's the crust. You like pepperoni on your pizza or whatever. There we go. We can give this character some legs. So these are either olives or pepperoni or salami, whatever. Or these are the olives, or it's a veggie pizza, and these are slices of a tomato. It's up to you. Here's one I like to do. It's called Moose Ghost. I'm sure everyone's played Pac-Man or has heard of Pac-Man. So let's borrow one of their ghosts. Look how easy this design is. It's an upside down U, right? Letter U. Then we're just gonna add the little bottom part of the ghost, the little tattered part, and there's one of the ghosts. And so what I do, I use that as the basic shape. But this is Moose Ghost, which you can imagine, right? It's a moose, but it's also a ghost. So Moose Ghost has left us. So check it out. Now let's add the moose part. Right? A moose has antlers, big giant antlers, and that's Moose Ghost. So you can make a character out of food, your favorite food, or your unfavorite food. Simple shapes like this, or here's one, random shape. Looks like an S, right? But let's see. I see a character out of that already. Check this out, and I can't hear you, but do you see a character in there? And just really quick, I always tell my students when I do a random line, I go, don't do a snake, a worm, a caterpillar, a centipede, a eel, because that's really easy, right? You're like, oh, I just draw the tongue on it, and it's, there, I'm done. It's a snake. Okay, that's fine. But we want to be a little more challenged here. I'm gonna continue that just to get rid of that tongue. So here's what I saw as soon as I did that. I wasn't planning it, but whoops. Anyway, it's a dorky looking swan, but it's about spontaneity, people. Right? So that was out of that S shape. So what I want to do is do shape designs, or I call them squiggles, right? If you've taken my class before, you probably remember that. Hey, let's do the squiggle challenge. So here's the squiggle challenge. So we can do this separate. It's not a game, but like we can play this different ways. Everybody could, if you have 2 or more people, this is fun. Like everybody gets a sheet of paper, and then you're gonna draw. You guys know what a squiggle is, right? I'm gonna use this Sharpie again because it shows up better. But you know, basically, to draw with, all you really need is paper, any type of paper, and then you need a pencil and an eraser. So I had a separate eraser here. But you know what? Like I always tell my students the first day of class, they're always asking me for, after I hand out the pencil and paper, they go, "Mister, I need an eraser." And I'm like, "You haven't even drawn anything yet. Don't worry about the eraser. Like, don't worry about making mistakes. Just when you're doing this starting off, just think about creating, right? Just getting the ideas out of your head." So normally just use a pencil or you know, a marker. This is a real thin line marker. But because I want this to show up on the screen, I'm going to use this Sharpie, where it's got a little thicker point. So here's how we do the squiggle challenge thing. So if you're doing it with other people, everybody gets a sheet of paper, and maybe just draw 6 random squiggles, right? So just think of this as 6 parts. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So you know what a squiggle is? It's just like a random line. Like if you throw a piece of spaghetti on the wall, don't do that at home. Mom will not appreciate that. And you can, you know, have them overlap and go over one another like that. And then here's one. I'll just do 5. I'm running out of space. But here's one where it's two lines, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So what we do is everybody switch the paper, right? Give this paper to the person next to you, and that person gives you their paper. Or if it's 3 people or 4 people, just rotate it. So everybody gets a different paper that they didn't start. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a different color just so we could see it, see the difference. So suppose I got this from somebody else, and I'm going to turn it upside down. I'm going to turn this over, just so you know. There's no right or there's no upside or wrong side, right? So now what I have to do is I need to make drawings out of all these. Let's make them characters, right? Because that's what this thing's about. So just really quick, look at this. And believe me, I drew it just randomly, so I don't know what it is, and even less so if it's somebody gives you this sheet, right? Somebody just walked up to you and gave you this sheet of paper. So let's not spend too much time thinking about it. Let's just try to keep it fast and fun, and maybe it'll be funny, right? Because we'll do crazy things. But I'm looking at this, so I'm gonna just start drawing something, see where it ends up. Okay, yeah. I wasn't sure I was gonna draw a fish until I came back here. But you see, like, just imagine it's all with the same color line. So I got a fish here. What about this? This one, I see something right away. And I guess I'm in the ghost mood tonight. Right, this one. And, you know, you can rotate the paper. Let's not force people to, like, stay on the same perspective. I'm just going to turn them upside down. This one, what do I see here? Oh, I see something. Do you guys see something? I do. I don't know what it is, but that's what I see. Just a little creature running down the street. Let's go. Remember this S shape? Let me just throw a line in the middle here because I don't know what I'm going to do. What do I see yet? Do I see something yet? I don't. I'm kind of stuck now. Okay, now I see something. It's a bird. Not a plane, not a man, it's a bird. So you notice I saved this for last because I've been thinking, oh man, I got myself in a fix on this one. Okay, do you see something? Do you see something in this shape? I feel like Mr. Rogers. Do you see something in this shape? Well, I saw something, but now I kind of lost. Isn't that funny? I see it, then I lost it. I bet you someone right now is screaming at the screen, "Oh, Mister, it's blah blah blah, whatever." That's the magic, I guess, of not being there when someone's drawing. You can't hear what they're saying. Okay, boy, I'm spending way too much time on this random shit. I could turn it upside down and try it, but no. Oh my gosh, I'm just gonna start. Okay, I don't know what I'm doing here, but this is Sleepy Sally, right? She's just sleepy. She's probably been watching YouTube videos too long, and she's all, man, I am tired. So there we go. We got 5 characters, right? So there we go. That's pretty fun. There's another way you could do this. So you could do it on the paper, like I said, do the random lines, and then everybody share their paper. If you want, you could use. I don't have any index cards, but I did have. This is a what do you call post-it notes, right? So if you have cards, blank cards, or these post-it notes, you could also do this where everybody draws. So give everybody. Let's just say I don't know, maybe 4 or 5 cards or little sheets of paper, and again, you have them do their drawings on there. So I had some earlier, right? So then so suppose I have 4, I did, and you did 4, and he did 4, and she did 4. So let's take all these and put them in a pile. It's almost like a card game, right? Mix up all the little papers or the cards, mix them all up in a pile, and then just pass out, you know, whatever, 4 cards to everybody. So this person's gonna get 4, and then that person's gonna get 4, and this person over here gets 4, I get 4, you get 4. So now I have 4 little things I've gotta draw, right? So this is me working on these 4 things. So, you know, I'm gonna use another marker again, just so you can differentiate it from the original line. And I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna make up, you know, some drawings or characters. Like sometimes I just start doing something. Looks like a letter A right there, right? Okay, here we go. So if I turn it around this way, got his sunglasses on, and he's got a mohawk, and he's spitting at somebody, I guess. All right, there's that one. What else? Here's another one. Boy, let's see. Dun. Oh, I like this one. We like dinosaurs, right? What dinosaurs that kind of look like Triceratops, right? They got this cool thing like that. So there's that one. And again, you know, I will draw my 5. Here's a good one to try, right? Because it's got 2 little lines on it. Let's see here. Let's see. I could do, you know what? I'm gonna do two different characters this time. What are these? They're little slugs or something, right? They're just kind of sliding around the floor. And here's the interest. Wow, that's kind of weird. Who did that? Like, do you see something here? Do you see a potential character or, you know, or thing you can make out of it? I'm stalling for time here, somebody. Wow, okay. Well, again, let me just start doing something. Let me just start closing the lines and see if I don't work myself into a corner here. I see sometimes, oh, okay, you know what I see? I see like a car or a sled. And this is a person sitting down, right? Driving this vehicle. Here's the wheel. And yeah, here are the little wheels on the car. And the headlights are here. And that's it. I'll put a couple of... And let's put a windshield on here. And let's put some speed lines, right? Because this guy is booking it. He's got to get to the... he's got to get to the McDonald's drive-thru before they close at, was it 8 o'clock now? So anyway, so again, that's just a simple way of designing characters, right? Just with starting with the random, just a random line. Oh, besides lines, you could also do what I call like, you know, when you spill milk, what does that look like besides getting yelled at? Spilled milk looks like, right, it's like a enclosed shape. So shapes are other things you can do besides lines. So that's like I spilled some milk on the floor. Let me do like a shape that we all know. I guess I'll do a diamond. Right? So again, I could do these myself, or we can do a challenge. I can give this to somebody else and they give me theirs. So this is very easy to me, right? I mean, I see a figure already. I see the head, draw the face on here. Those are the arms. But let me do something a little different just to challenge myself. Yikes. Okay. All right, here we go. Here we go. Again, it's just another weird oddball creature, right? Something like it's a camel hump. It's two camel humps, but he's got like, you know, it's almost like a fish or a seal. So put a fin on it here. And yeah, I think that's it. Yeah, and I'll put some gills on it. So it's some type of sea creature. And it's, right, the bubble, it's underwater, so they're the bubbles. The diamond, I could make a kite out of it, right? Put the tail on here and the string, but it's like, I want to challenge myself just a little bit. Here we go. Let's keep with the fish theme. So here's the, oh, maybe this is that fish, but this is the front. This is what it looks like in the front, right? He's coming at us with his open mouth. Right, and then so he's got fins on each side. And then we'll put that hump on that side and the other one in the back. And then he's got the air bubbles. So there we go. So that's just a quick way. If you can't ever think of a character, just throw down some shapes or throw down some lines, right? This was neat, you know, just random. See the red line turned into a triceratop. So if you ever get stuck with something, just shapes or lines, and then there's your characters. So one thing, so that's that. The second thing we're gonna do here now is I'm gonna show you guys at least how to set up your mini comic. So this is a mini comic I did recently, San Patricio. It's a little leprechaun character, right? So a mini comic is always, at least this format, we're gonna show you 8 pages. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. But look, check this out. This is all done on one sheet of paper. We don't need a stapler for this or tape. Look at, I'll show you guys how to fold all this, don't worry. Right? Open it up, look at this. So it was just a sheet of paper. Like this sheet of paper, 11 by 17, this tan color paper. Well, this was printed on green. So, I didn't draw this, like this is not drawn on this paper. I drew it on another sheet of paper, and I took my time. It's more detailed and everything. And then I scanned it in my computer. And then I lettered it. Not that, but I did the lettering in the computer, the word balloons and all that. And I added some what they call gray tones on it. And then I took the file on a thumb drive or flash drive. I took it to Office Depot. And then I asked the person if they could print out a whole bunch of copies and I gave them the green paper. I bought a pack of green paper. I gave them the paper and then they printed out all my artwork, right, on here. And then I went home and I did the cut in the fold, which I'll show you in a minute. And then now I have this mini comic. So let me show you guys and girls there how to make your own, set up your own mini comic. So here's what we do. We could use either like this large sheet of paper, 11 by 17, right? You can get this at, you know, Office Depot or whatever, Staples. But let me just use a regular paper, right? You have this in your computer at home in your printer paper. Ask your parents, but they used to call this typing paper, right? Us older folks, this used to be called typing paper. Look up typewriter and go blow your mind there. But so this sheet of paper, here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna fold it in half, right? So this is the long side, this is the short side, right? Because this side is longer than that side. So fold it in half, right? You know, corner to corner. I've done a lot of these. That's why it's actually pretty perfect. And then you know, use your edge of your fingernail if you want to crease it to make a nice sharp fold, right? See, that's got a nice sharp fold on it. So now it's folded once, and it doesn't matter if you're working this way with the fold side toward you or the fold side on the other. That doesn't matter. What matters is you have a long thin rectangle now, whereas before you had a, you know, chunkier rectangle. So now it's folded once. Now we're going to fold it in half again, but the other way, this way. So, right, just reach over to the, you know, take it corner to corner. And if it's not perfect, don't worry if it doesn't line up perfect. And again, fingernail edge is always good to really give it a good sharp crease. So now when you open it, remember, it was that long rectangle. Now it's got the crease, a fold in the middle. So now I want you to fold it again, but this time you want to fold, now this section, you want to fold this section in half, or in other words, take this edge, fold it to the center fold, just like this. Sometimes you can use your index finger to hold the paper down here as you fold it. But anyway, and then I lift this up a little if you want, just so I can make sure I tuck it in to the center fold. And again, the fingernail thing is always important because they make a sharp crease, right? So it's now this side, I am also going to fold it down to the center here. I'm just eyeballing it there. Fingernail. So just so you see what I did, we had originally one fold, now we got two more folds. It's kind of looking like a booklet, but look, there's only, look, it's not like the way I showed you earlier, right? Because there's something missing, we have to cut it. So we do need, I forgot to show you this in the beginning, we also need a pair of scissors. So your parents should be using the scissors for you. I don't know what the age limit is. I'm sure once you're in high school or maybe middle school. But you younger kids, it's best to have an adult with you. Okay, so here's the original paper, right? So now I want to cut it, but you don't cut it from the outside. You cut it, check this, in the middle. So you fold it out again. Now fold it in half. Remember originally I said in half this way. This time, for the purpose of the cut, fold it in half. You already got the creases on it. Fold it in half this way. Okay, right? So here's the open side. I'm gonna cut it here on the folded side where the crease is at. That's very important. So what I'm gonna do is, again, fold it again along the crease, you know, so it's kind of folded or angled over. And I'm just gonna get the scissors and cut to this line. It's okay to go a little over. Watch your fingers on the other side, you know. But just go through and cut it along the crease. Don't have to be perfect. Don't worry about perfect. So see how it's cut? I'm gonna open it to show you right? Again, here's our original paper, and it's got a bunch of folds in it, but look, now it's also got the little cut. Right, it's like a little mouth talking. Hey, what's up? Anyway, so now here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna fold it again, originally again, the long way. And now here's where the magic part, not magic, but right, it looks like magic. You see what's happening? They're getting a little diamond opening there. So now I'm gonna push the two edges, the two outer edges of the paper together. So I want that diamond to get thinner and thinner. And then look, right? Let me show it from this point of view. But look, ta-da, right? Now it folds over. Again, the creases were already there, but let me open it for you. Check this out. So now it's an 8-page blank book. Let's count the pages with me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Don't worry about the opening here. Like, I wouldn't bother taping it. It's not, you know, or like here. I mean, you might have someone nosy try to like, hey, what's in there? But that's the booklet. Really quick, you could use a larger sheet of paper like I did here and do the same process. Actually, I have one done here. Right? So this is 11 by 17 paper. I actually like working larger. So, you know, it's the same process. Full sheet of paper. I folded it in half. And then I folded it in half again that way. And then I folded each one of these in like this, right? Again, you can always rewatch the video. It's the same thing, the cut. And I want to push them together for my diamond shape. And then this is always, you know, I always like doing this crease because it helps flatten the book out. And there I have, you know, another 8-page comic. Or I should say 8-page book, because I haven't made the comic yet. I could make a comic book story out of this. You know, comic books have panels, right? You know, the boxes, but they're called panels in a comic. Like, I'm not using a ruler because, like I told you guys at home, I'm not really concerned about making something perfect, at least for the purpose of this. This is one page, that's another page. Although, if you want to make this the whole giant panel, you could. Maybe it's like an important scene in your comic, right? And then you go back to, I don't know, maybe 2 panels. This is an example. You don't have to do panels. And maybe I want to do another large panel here. And now maybe I want to end it with 2 more panels. So this is the cover. The cover, normally you don't start putting the panels on there, but you could if you want, it's up to you. But then you want to put your title up here, whatever your story is, right? So this is the title. And then maybe an illustration here of your story. I don't know, I keep thinking of those fish we drew earlier. And the most important part of any story, any comic, novel, movie, whatever, the credit. Let's put our credit because we did this comic. So this one happens to be by me, Javier Hernandez. Sometimes artists put the date on the inside. What I always abbreviate it, so it's 2020 apostrophe 20. And then I will end up drawing a comic, which I'm not going to do that lesson now because I don't know how long the video's gone, but I don't want to make it too long. But this gives you an idea. Also, so the other thing is, here's the smaller one. It doesn't matter which way you open it. Like, you know, is it upside down? Because, right, you know, this part's up. The big opening is on top here. If I turn it around, it's all the open ends. If that makes sense. Like, that doesn't really matter how the comic is done. You could do. It doesn't have to be a comic. It could just be a story where, again, you put a title here. We put our, maybe it's like a vampire junior, I don't know. And then, of course, your name. I'm running out of room, so first name only. And maybe I can just draw one picture per page, right? I don't know. Should we make that? Should I make a story out of this somehow without having any idea what I'm doing? I don't know. He's flying. He's flying somewhere over the city, I guess. I'm just making this up as we go along. But then, you know, one picture per page is fine. Or you could just do random thing where you're just doing maybe diary entries, but you can illustrate it. You know, what did you do Monday? What did you do Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday? So the book is yours to do whatever you want. Make it into a comic with panels, or just do single illustration on each page. But what I want you to do is just have fun with it. Be creative, right? Whatever's in your mind, get it out there on the paper. You know, your imagination is one of the most important things you could do, you could have. No one can take that from you. And I think we're done with our lessons for today. So hope you guys enjoy this. If you guys work on your comics, parents, if you want to share it, you can take pictures of the comic and put it on my, actually you wouldn't put it on my Instagram. I'm trying to think, how would that work? I guess just hashtag. Let's make up a hashtag. Let's make up a hashtag. Well, I don't know, I'm just put Los Comics TV comic. I'm really just making this up right now. If that's too long, just put LCTV comic right here. Maybe that'll be easier. If you want to just share it with me on my Instagram. So thank you very much. And if you like this video, please share it with people, send it to them, let them check it out, and subscribe so you can get notification on my next video. And maybe if you guys write in and let me know if you like this, we could do more of these cartooning comic lessons, okay? So thank you very much. Goodbye.